My name is Rick Houston, and welcome to the Scene Vault Podcast. Anything else you'd like to get across? I know you got a bunch more stories.
So Bobby Allison means a lot to me.
Okay.
I mean, he always has. So, and I can't remember the year, 70 something. I mean, early or late. I'm out of high school, I know. And we go to Daytona 4th of July, and I'd always heard about this great track in Milwaukee. You know, it was the track that everybody talked about. We never raced there. So we're down Daytona 4th of July, and I'm talking to Bobby, and I said, "What are you doing?" You know, because we always had the next week off if it didn't rain.
Yeah.
That was always the rain date. And then with Nashville was the next Saturday night, 2 weeks away. So Bobby said, "Well, we're going to go run." He had the Matador then, so we're going to go run the Hornet. He was at home, so it wasn't Penske, it was him. We're going to run the Hornet. He'd built a little Hornet to run USAC races. He said, "We're going to go to Milwaukee." I lost my train of thought there for a second. "We're going to go run Milwaukee." I said, "Can I go?" He said, "Sure." He said, and then the week after that, we're going to run Michigan at a USAC race, which would have been the Sunday after the Nashville Cup race. So I went and asked Dad. I said, "Can I do this?" "Sure." I said, "Well, I guess I'll be home before Nashville." He said, "I'll just go ahead and stay." He said, I'm going to sit out Nashville." I mean, it was the problem with going to Nashville. It was such a haul. You lost money because you got to spend at least one night in a motel. I mean, you just couldn't, and you always had to go for the points. Well, I guess he said, "I'm not going to worry about the points now.
Yeah.
I can't afford it." So we got home. Mom washed my clothes. I threw them in my truck, and I drove to Hueytown that night. And got there early the next morning, way early. So I walked around the house and to the pool and laid out there in the lounge chair. And Judy comes out, wakes me up, said, "You want some breakfast?" So I went in. Well, they had a basement and in that house, and they had a room and a shower and all that stuff downstairs. So they put me downstairs. And so I went down. The shop's just, you walk down the hill. I don't know if you ever knew where Bobby's shop was in Hueytown, but anyway. So I walked down the hill and go to work. And we worked and got the Hornet ready. Can't remember what we'd done on the other car, the Cup car, but it seemed like he only had one. Maybe there was two there. So we got everything ready, and the truck driver takes off to Milwaukee with the car, and we jump into Bobby's plane, and we fly to Milwaukee. And we get down on the ground, and we get to the racetrack, and there ain't no truck there yet. They're out there practicing stuff, ain't no truck. Well, he had a flat tire. So he gets there late. We pull off, and I don't remember where we qualified. Just got a qualifying time in. And ran the race. Then I guess that day. I can't remember whether there was a day or two in between, but ran the race, and Bobby got sick during the race. Was leading, should have won it. But he got sick in the car, but he made it to the end. I think we finished second or third. I can't remember. I don't remember who won it. So he comes in. He's sick, and he can't really fly home. Plane home. So Warner Hodgkins was hanging around with him, and I think Warner wanted to buy into him, and I think Bobby was thinking about it, and he never did. But so he had a Learjet, so he flew all of us home. Went back home, worked day and night on the Cup car, put a clip on it. Me and Bobby would be the last ones out there working till midnight or 1 a.m, go get a couple hours sleep, get a shower, and go back to work. I worked a lot, but it was like you never went to bed hardly at all. It was nose to the grindstone, got the body work done, got it put together. Got it loaded, got the Hornet ready to go to Michigan, and I'm thinking I'm going to Nashville with Bobby. He says, I think his name was Bo Brady. He said, "You and Bo Brady jump in the little truck, had a little ramp truck, and go to Michigan with the USAC car." So I'm thinking, okay, so we drive up to Michigan, get it unloaded, and Warner is flying him to Nashville, and then flying him to Michigan, qualify the car, flying back to Nashville, run the race, and then back to Michigan.
Good night.
So we run that race, and I think I never did go to Nashville, and we run that race. I don't remember what happened in that race, but anyway, the race is over, and Bobby's fine. So we jump on the Lear, and they take us over to Milwaukee. Me and Bobby get in his plane. So then the Lear goes back and gets the crew and everybody else at Michigan. Well, we get off. We're out of Milwaukee before the Lear takes off, and I'm thinking, we're going to beat them home, no problem. We get to Hueytown, and that thing's on the ground and covered up. I said, dang, they beat us down here. And I don't remember that other time. I flew with Bobby a couple of times. Flew home from the West Coast a couple of times to get me back to school, I think. I can't remember.
No,
but
I understand that it could be an adventure to fly with Bobby.
Well,
how many barrel rolls did he do?
He didn't.
He did not.
So me and him are flying alone one day, and I don't remember when this was, but there ain't nobody but me and him. And I said, I want you to do one of them rolls. He said, I can't do that. I said, why? He said, they frown on that on the ground. And so I said, okay. So pretty soon, I said, you didn't tell me. He done it so fast, I didn't know we'd done it. I said, you're supposed to tell me. I wanted to see the whole thing, I wanted to feel it. I felt it, but I'm going, dude, you didn't tell me. He kind of done one of these. Whoop. I thought, what did we just do? And then somewhere else we was flying, and I only flew with him a few times. It may have been the same time. But, boy, all of a sudden, we're flying along. Here comes another plane. They both went this way. He said, wonder what they thought on the ground when they seen that one. I thought, what they thought on the ground? What about up here?
This ain't the Thunderbird.
Yeah. It was just a
wow.
And it was a small plane. I'm not small, but I mean, it was a plane like his. It wasn't no jet.
So he's playing chicken with another.
No, I don't. I think that he said, I'm on the right. We was right. He said, I'm on the right height. That guy's wrong.
Wow.
So that was kind of interesting. But Bobby's always been. So after that deal of working all down there for 2 weeks, I don't know if he paid me or not. I didn't even want pay. I probably didn't get paid. I didn't ask for no pay. I don't remember. But they took care of me. I mean, I was fed and clothed and had a place to sleep and shower. And the experience, you can't say anything about. There ain't enough money to pay for the experience I got in them 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So from there on out, every now and then, Bobby didn't have enough crew. Maybe he was in Michigan, or maybe he was in somewhere else where they didn't all come. So he started because he'd always out-qualify us. He would reserve the pit behind him. And then when we made the race, we would go into that pit. And then there was a few times that I would change his rear tires and then do Dad's stuff, the next lap. I never come in the same lap. Well, Bobby was on a Goodyear deal. We wasn't. So his takeoffs, I'd reglue them, put them on Dad's car. So we saved a lot of money that year. Bobby Allison saved us a lot of money that year in tires, period.
Yeah.
Whether used or new, it didn't matter. But at least we had tires.
You were running Dodges, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What was your relationship like with the Petties?
Good.
Were they your parts people? Or?
Yeah, that's where we always went. Yeah. Okay. I forgot about this one. I'll tell you this one right quick too. So Martinsville, we're at Martinsville again. Got the Dodge, and I think that's the 70 Charger. I can't remember what year it is. Bobby's driving evidently for Junior because it's the Coca-Cola car. Did he drive? Was it his ever when it was Coca-Cola? I don't remember.
Was it whose?
Bobby's, or was it Junior's? Was it Junior's the whole time it was Coca-Cola?
Yeah, it was Junior's.
Okay, so it must have been Junior's car. So Bobby's running around there, and him and Petty are feuding. So whatever that was, when they was really feuding with each other. We're on the back straightaway, of course, pitting. They're on the front. And Bobby's running around on a flat tire. And Dad goes outside to pass him, and Bobby takes him out. Gets him up to get a caution, basically. So it tore up the front of the car and the suspension, and Dad comes down pit road, and he is hot. He said, you make this thing roll, I don't care what you have to do. So I'm under there beating tie rods and stuff and not replacing anything, just getting it where it rolled, readjusting the toe in and getting a tire and a wheel on it, get the fender out and the bumper pulled back forward. And
did you know what was going to happen?
I figured something bad's going to happen. So while I'm doing all that, Bobby's sending people over from the pit crew. So go over and tell Ed that I didn't mean to do that, da-da-da-da-da. And Dad said, you go back and you tell him, I don't care what he meant to do. He won't finish this race or another one as long as I'm driving my car. And so Bobby could send him back over. He says, he sure is sorry. Said he'll pay for it because evidently we didn't have no money. That's what Dad was mad about. How am I going to fix this? Go to the next race. So he said he'd pay for your car. So Dad didn't say nothing. And I got him rolling for the end of that caution. And he goes back out there. It's funny. So I think this is going to be good. I want to get somewhere where I can see. So I'm up on a stack of tires. And here's Dad riding right beside of Bobby around the racetrack under the caution. And I'm looking over there, and the gas man was tall. I don't remember what his name was, really tall guy. And he is on his tiptoes, and they're looking like this. Dad never took him out, and only place to take cars to the Petties. So, and we told Bobby that. Bobby said it doesn't matter, just take it over, because they're feuding. So we took it to the Petties, and they fixed it, and Bobby paid the bill. Matter of fact, I think there were some other parts that wasn't. Dad told him that wasn't part of the wreck, and Bobby paid for all of it. So, I mean, Bobby Allison is a great guy. He's one of the best. So, I always thought a lot of. See, when I was there, Davey and Clifford and Kerry and Bonnie was small kids, really. I mean, it ain't that I'm that much older than them, but I mean, they were still in school. Yeah. So, I mean, people say, well, did Davey come down there and work? Well, no. I mean, he was still in school. I mean, he might have been there. I didn't pay attention, but he wasn't working like we was. He was doing schoolwork.